Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel today, guys, where we do have some really big news indeed. We are going to be kicking off, of course, with the fantastic news that Ronald Araujo has renewed his contract at Barça. We're going to have all of the details on that. We're also going to be talking about Frankie de Jong and the rumours that continue to swirl around his future at the club. What is happening with him right now? And of course as well, there is lots of talk about Robert Lewandowski. Is he moving closer to a move to Barça? And is that a signing that we should be targeting? It is all coming up, guys. And remember, if you are enjoying the video, leaving a like is very much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into it. Because if we do start with that big breaking news today, that Ronald Araujo, he's going to stay here. He has officially renewed his contract at Barça. Of course, we did know that this was coming. We knew the agreement had been made. We were just waiting for the official announcement. But it is still a huge relief now that it is here. We are going to be seeing Araujo play at Barça until at least 2026. He has signed on the dotted line with a release clause of €1 billion following, of course, Joan Laporta's new release clause policy. And I think what we have to say here is two things. Number one, very well done to the club, because what we haven't done in this situation is just thrown a load of money at Araujo and said, okay, it's fine, you can have what you want, just sign the new deal. Because those are the kind of mistakes which really put us in financial peril in the past. But I think what we've done here, we've negotiated smartly. It hasn't been a quick process. It has been a lot of hard work to get here. But I think what we have done in the end is agreed a very solid contract. And we've done well in these negotiations. But what I think you also have to say, number two, and most importantly, huge credit to Araujo himself. Because it was simply down to his desire, his determination to stay at this club. He loves playing here. He loves being a part of this project. And that is why he signed until 2026. And I think it's amazing. For all of us fans, we value what Araujo does. We believe he's a massive part of our future. And to have him here now until at least his 27th birthday, there are some fantastic years to come. And I cannot wait to see the kind of figure he's going to grow into at this club. But speaking of futures and speaking of the transfer window coming this summer, let's talk now about Frankie de Jong, because even before the game at the weekend, there were plenty of rumours. As soon as Erik was confirmed there as the new Man United boss from next season, I knew straight away we're going to be hearing Frankie to Man United rumours. That was always going to happen there, to potentially be reunited with his former coach, of course, from Ajax. But the question is there really any truth to that? And is there any possibility that Frankie de Jong would want to leave Barcelona? Well, at the weekend, we all saw the scenes there when he was subbed off after 60 minutes against Rayo Vallecano with the scoreline at 1-0. He had to walk all the way around the pitch. It was a really slow walk off from de Jong. He went all the way around. He was greeted by a few Barcelona players, and quite clearly, you could see straight away, he wasn't happy. It was clear to see on his face. It was clear to see when he went back to the bench in the end. He was somebody there who cut a very frustrated figure. And again, as soon as that happened, I knew straight away, the media are going to go crazy about this. They are going to make this into a massive issue. Of course, they're going to spin it the way that Frankie is so angry with Xavi. There is a feeling that is being said that whenever a midfield substitution needs to be made, that often it's Frankie that comes off. Is Frankie growing frustrated with that, and that he may not be happy with his situation at the club? Although I think what you would have to say, and you have to be honest about this, on this occasion, Xavi was right to sub de Jong. I think even Frankie would admit that too, that it was not a good game from him. It was not certainly anywhere near the kind of quality that he can produce. But that's also why, guys, I wouldn't guarantee that anger from Frankie, that frustration, was towards Xavi. Because we all know the kind of player and the kind of person that Frankie de Jong is. This is the same guy that goes home after a game and straight away analyses his performance, looking at what he can do better. He sits down with Xavi to look at his performances and discuss how he can improve. This man expects perfection of himself. So I think the media here are very, very quick to jump on this and say he's angry at the club, he's angry at Xavi, but there is every chance as well that Frankie de Jong was just frustrated by his own performance. Maybe even as well the fact that we were losing for a third successive time at home. That is very, very possible. And I think with all of these rumours, with everything you hear coming out in the media, one thing you cannot get away from is that whenever Xavi, whenever Frankie himself is asked about his future, they always say the same, that he's a big part of our plans, that the club certainly want to keep him, and that Frankie de Jong, he said himself, he'd be happy to sign here for another 6 years. But finally, guys, of course we do have to talk about Robert Lewandowski, and this for me, it is a massive talking point. There is lots going on right now in the media. I think there's lots of debate among Barcelona fans about whether or not we do or don't need Robert Lewandowski. But what I want to talk about first of all is the fact that actually this genuinely could happen. Because Bayern right now seem absolutely adamant they're not going to offer him a new deal. His contract expires in 2023. Lewandowski definitely wants a new one. He has to have a new one this summer or he will demand to leave. But Bayern do not seem interested in doing that. And what is really, really interesting now is that we are starting to hear reports that say that Lewandowski has already told his agent, Pini Zahavi, that he would reduce his current salary at Bayern in order to play for Barça. In order to come here this summer, he, like many others that we've seen join, would indeed make sacrifices on their wages. Now, of course, that doesn't make it a straightforward operation. You would still have to agree a fee with Bayern Munich. That fee likely would not be cheap. And of course, there's plenty of questions from Barcelona fans, and rightly so, about how much you'd pay for Lewandowski in the final year of his contract. And of course, being currently 33 years old, but come August, he will be 34. And that's, of course, another debate entirely about the age factor, about how much Lewandowski has left in the tank, about how much he can contribute here in his latter years. But I think the one thing that you would have to say about Lewandowski is his game doesn't rely, on pace. It doesn't rely largely on the physical side. He's somebody who knows where to be, who arrives in the right moments, who can perform in the big games. And I think what you'd also have to say is, despite his age, he does have a remarkable injury record. You can see right here, this is every injury that he's suffered since the 14-15 season. Very, very impressive. He's kept himself so injury-free, and he is in fantastic condition. But of course, the jury is still out about whether Lewandowski is the right road to go down, because there are lots of people who say that this would be another short-term signing, this would be another stopgap where we'd be okay for 1 year, we'd be okay for 2 years, but going beyond that then, is this a road that we need to be going down, looking and zooming out in the long term? But I think what you'd have to say right now, whether it's about Lewandowski, whether it's about another centre forward, what I think this summer is that we need more firepower. And I think that has to be addressed. Up front, we just don't have enough right now. Yes, of course, Aubameyang had a brilliant start to his Barca career, and he will still be here next year, and we will still certainly be counting on him, but you need more than that. There is no doubt in my mind that we need more and more depth up front. Of course, Memphis, his future right now is in question. He'll be entering the final year of his deal this summer. You've got Luke de Jong, Martin Braithwaite, they're likely going to be leaving the club, and of course a lot depends on the fitness and the availability of Ansu Fati and whether he can play in that number 9 role consistently. But I do think we need more, and I think heading into the summer you can see why Barca are looking at Lewandowski, why they're exploring the option. But I still maintain here, guys, that we cannot overpay, and we literally cannot. We are very much limited in what we can do, and the question will come down to how much Bayern would demand for their prolific centre forward. And of course, guys, what I would really, really like in the comments down below from you is to let me know what you thought of each one of these topics today. There was a real range of emotions today. You've got Araujo, fantastic that he's staying at the club. Brilliant, brilliant news. You've got Frenkie de Jong and the doubts that are emerging about him. Let me know what you think about his situation. And also there, on the big topic of Robert Lewandowski. Should we go for him? Is he a player that we need in this team? Let me know that down below. I will, of course, see you soon, with plenty of videos here, and of course over on MORETALKFCB. Thank you for watching, and for all of your support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Basa.